The summer of 2025 has basically become a new 2020 summer of love. We have seen nothing but protests, riots, fires started, police officers attacked, flags burned. It's created so much public outrage that Donald Trump decided to actually sign an executive order banning the burning of the American flag. Now, before I go far into this, I apologize if my voice is a little bit raspy. I think I slept with the fan too close to my face and I just woke up with a little bit of a weird feeling in my throat, so bear with me. But that said, Trump decided to sign an executive order, which is going to make it a 1 year imprisonment if you are caught burning the American flag. And I have a lot of opinions about this. Before I go into my opinions, let's check out what he said.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is in
Incite
this.
to riot, and you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately.
All right. Now, I understand the idea that potentially what is happening right now is the incitement of riots because we're in a unique tension point and we have a high number of paid protesters that are going out and doing this. So maybe there's some kind of a legal argument for these specific circumstances, but on principle, I am totally against this. There was already a ruling from the Supreme Court that said that flag burning is constitutional. It is protected by free speech. What we should have seen is Trump responding to those kids in Atlanta that got arrested for burning a pride flag. What we should have seen is an executive order that makes that totally not possible. You shouldn't be put in jail for expressing free speech. I do not like when people burn the American flag. Don't sit here and act like what I'm trying to do is make excuses and make it easier for people to do that. But I do not want this type of lawfare used against conservatives. This is how we get hate speech laws. This is how we allow Israel to control our country and we no longer have the ability to speak out about basic corruption on just fundamental levels. It's a slippery slope. So when Trump comes out and he says that it's going to be a 1 year imprisonment, that is terrifying. This is how we become UK. This is how we become Australia. The reason that our founding fathers put our Bill of Rights in the order that they did was very specific. If you're going to have the ability to speak your mind, you must have the ability to defend yourself. It follows. But first and foremost, there is no freedom without the freedom of thought. Throughout history, we have always had monarchies and dictators that have had some sort of a totalitarian control over the people's mind, over the people's tongue, over the art that they could publish, over the work that they could do. The freedom of expression, the freedom to think, is fundamental for us to be able to progress and be able to have the society that the rest of the world envies. The reason we have the best ideas is because people are allowed to have bad ideas. And it takes a number of bad ideas before you finally get a good idea, unless you're really lucky. So, what we're doing is we're hijacking the American spirit. We're taking away one of the core fundamental aspects of what makes this country great. And if we're going to make America great again, we can't do that without true freedom of speech. If anything, things need to go back to the way they were in 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Back then, people cohabitated. When I was a kid, there was no tension between black and white people, not in a serious way. When I was a kid, there was no debate about gay people or whether they were indoctrinating kids because they weren't. Back then, everything was normal. Back then, everything was very common sense. You didn't have to worry about having some kid exposed to essentially graphic porn in school through different teachers that have been hijacked at the highest levels of education. And the only way that we can stop this from happening and the only way that we can really combat this situation is by having the ability to speak. And genuinely, I think true Americans that do not want to see the American flag burnt are going to be more upset at the hijacking of our freedom of speech than anybody that ever burnt the flag, whether they were here illegally or not. And we do not like it when they burn the flag. Go onto my Facebook page and scroll through. I have videos with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views showing these illegals burning flags. I have videos of Mexican Americans that are genuine citizens that have caught flags from being burnt from illegals. And they were just chanting, "Why are you here? Why are you here?" Freedom of speech is genuinely the most important part of being an American. If we're going to lose this, we are no longer the country that we are fighting for. I really hope this is temporary. I hope that the courts can do something to stop this. It scares the hell out of me. But at the same time, I do understand that we don't want to have riots starting. And right now, it's a very unique situation. What do you think about this? Should we be signing this executive order and, banning people from burning the flag, putting them in jail for it? Or should we allow people to protest and burn flags and have that potential danger of freedom, but freedom? All right, that's all for today. If you enjoy my content, like, comment, subscribe. I have a Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/Brian D exclusive, you can join, become a member, help contribute to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.